Hey everyone, Chris here with Clutter Reduction, Junk Removal, and Tanya. We are doing two different jobs today. One of them is a relocation from the third floor to the first floor in a senior living facility, and then we are removing the excess items that aren't going to fit because this room is slightly smaller than the other one. The second job we're going to is for a repeat client where we are pretty much clearing out a memory unit. I don't know if she's in hospice or if she passed, she didn't specify, but either way we are removing everything. And then we'll be heading to our donation lady to get rid of it all. And then anything left over we will dispose of. So right now we took the bed. This is something that we like to do to, if we know we're downsizing, we'll take all the big stuff first and kind of mix in the smaller stuff like the closets. So that way we know for a fact, okay, this is fitting, this isn't fitting. And we started off with the bed, that's the biggest piece. She's getting rid of the couch, she's getting rid of the dresser. And luckily she has a huge walk-in closet where we're kind of just putting all the miscellaneous from the other three closets together. We're just gonna keep on rolling, and at some point when we get all the big stuff out, Tanya is gonna continue with the small stuff while I bring the junk removal down so we can be efficient.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. They don't wanna see me care. Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared I walk a straight path. Not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb, and I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up, cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough.
Alright, so those two jobs are done. In total we made $1,040 plus a $25 tip on the credit card. Now we're heading to donation to drop off, and I'm going to show you what the trailer looks like before and then what it looks like after, just to show you how much we're able to get rid of on a majority of the time. And really we can do this in most cases unless the furniture is just trashed. It just gets tricky when we're not local. Like if we're near our area, it's easy because we have this access. If we're like up north, like that big clean out, then we have to resort to like local Goodwills, and you know, those are pretty hit or miss. So we'll show you how much we're able to get out, and then afterwards we're going to talk about a couple of the things that we're trying to do marketing wise with the business and how we're kind of reevaluating every single month. Alright, so pretty much everything here except for the wheelchairs we're going to try to give them. Boop, 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 boop. We have someone taking the wheelchairs, otherwise everything's gone. This wood is from a different job. Scrap wood, that box is empty. These are going to somebody we know that works at seniors. This is the trash that was basically throughout the both apartments. Otherwise, that's everything. So they store everything here and then they give it to people through their churches and it all gets taken care of. So we're gonna load up our truck and we'll be done for the day. So we're back home now. We pretty much donated like 98% of that stuff. As you saw, we literally just had like 2 trash bags of literally just trash left over. And then all that wood we had from a different job. I was thinking about putting it down and letting my neighbors know, like, hey, I got some scrap wood here if anyone wants to come grab it. There's a couple of good 1x1s and 1x2s in there, but it's just a lot of work. So we're probably just gonna end up getting rid of that. I did get a very long 3.5-foot copper pipe in there though, which you may think scrap metal. I'm actually gonna try to sell it though, because those things are like 40 bucks in Home Depot. So maybe someone can use it as like a scrap copper basically and just get it for like half the price. We'll see. Worst case, we'll scrap it, of course. But kind of touching on what I mentioned before we got to that donation place for the marketing, it's not really like a marketing strategy per se, as far as like where to go, but we're basically just following up on something we've always done, which is we ask everybody on every job, how did you hear about us? How did you get into contact with us? How did you find out about us? And usually it's repeats or referrals or Google or Facebook next door or some kind of business facility that we've marketed to some point in the past or currently work for. That's the majority of our jobs. Once in a while we'll get we saw a yard sign, or we saw your truck and trailer while you guys were driving, or I just kind of found your business card. I don't really remember where I got it from, which could be numerous sources. So we like to keep track of that. And last year what I would do is I would just kind of gradually look over, like, okay, last month, what were the main sources, and then like I'll continue that next month. But I never really like followed it too detailed, and I never really came up with like an action plan based off of it. And that's what we're doing this year. So for the month of January, we had a pretty good mixed bag. It was majority repeat and referral. Those were the main like 2 sources. Next up was Google, just people randomly looking up junk removal in my area. And then it was a tie between Facebook and Nextdoor. And then everything after that was either coming from a senior living facility that we already have done work for, so they know who we are, or they were referred by a specific person in that facility, like a staff member, or they saw our sign, or we found them through a networking group, whatever the case is. But it was a pretty good mixed bag. Now, obviously, Google is always going to kind of be there. Facebook and Nextdoor, we're kind of being pretty active in this year, especially Tanya, when I'm driving and she's just sitting there in the car, she's on Facebook and Nextdoor commenting and sending out messages to people. So we already kind of know, like, okay, those are a little bit more of a given, but if you take those out, what else is left? And then based on like what's left of that, what can we improve on? Not so much like, okay, referrals are great, awesome. People, they like us, we did good work, whatever the case, they're gonna continue referring us as long as we keep up that trend. So that's just customer service and keeping in touch, okay? Easy, that's kind of already part of our business plan. But we're gonna look a little bit further into like, okay, we got a couple from different networking groups, great, we're gonna continue with the networking, we're gonna continue with follow-ups, we're gonna continue making those relationships with other business professionals. And then we'll look into, okay, we got a couple people that saw our trailer while we're out on the road. Okay, I have my magnets on my truck, but they're not as prominent. So maybe I may want to take my trailer out if it's local, even if it's a small job versus just using my pickup. Sometimes I'll do that because it's easier and it's quicker and it's less gas, but you're losing a opportunity for marketing by not having a much larger vessel that has your logo going across the side. That's a little bit more prominent to see versus just a little 12 or 18 by 24 magnet on a black truck. So that may be something to look into. Or if we got a couple of jobs through, let's say, yard signs, like, okay, we're gonna put out the same amount of yard signs, if not maybe a couple more. Or if we went to maybe like a random meetup for like networking or something, and we met somebody there who's a house flipper, and then they called us for a clean out. Okay, let's continue going to those, and now let's start looking for house flippers. Find a way to contact them, email them, and then let them know what we do and see if we can meet with them for coffee. So all we're really doing is looking past the basics. Like, I've always just done social media, business to business marketing, and then networking. Those have been like our three primary ways of marketing for like the last 4 years. And Google, like I don't really do any crazy SEO stuff. I don't know that much about it. I just try to upload stuff on different platforms and just try to tag the website and everything that I do. That's all we really do. And social media, that's a kind of a given, you know, like Facebook and Nextdoor, we don't pay for any ads, but we are into all the different groups and we're reaching out to people, commenting our services, referring out other people we know. Like your name, I still believe that even if you're referring other services, your name is still being recognized and you start to be seen as like one of those top contributors, but hopefully not just pass that little badge, but people actually recognize you. And then maybe one day they click on the page and they say, oh, he's the owner of clutter reduction junk removal. I wonder what that is. They click on that, they go to my Facebook page and then they say, oh, they do junk removal. I'll keep that in mind. It's a long game, but you do that with enough consistency and enough volume, and every now and then you're bound to catch a couple of people. So that's kind of what we're really pushing for this year. We've already gone through it in January, made a marketing plan and like what we're going to be focused on for February, and then we're going to repeat that process every single month because there's different seasons, there's different times of the month where different professions are more busy. And you know, realtors, summertime is prime time for moving, which means a lot of people are buying and selling houses in summertime. So maybe for realtors, we're more likely to catch a couple of bigger cleanouts in the summer because everyone's kind of up in the air, all the services are going at once, there's a lot going on. That's more of a time crunch, and that's where we come in versus somebody trying to deal with it on their own. Or maybe a pressure washing company or a painting company who, you know, they do a lot in the spring to prepare for the summer. They prepare before their family comes back down from snowbirds. And, you know, any of those situations, junk removal may be a little bit more prominent. So that's all we're trying to do. So far, I think it's working pretty well. We've already kind of put together a pretty good game plan, and that's our goal this year. Is we have a specific number we're trying to hit every month, and we're trying to maximize our marketing without overstressing ourselves at the same time, trying to still keep it within reason. But I think it's going to be a great turnout for the rest of the year. So far, we're off to a great start. And even February, you know, February 1st, we didn't have any jobs. We kind of took the day and just cleaned the house. February 2nd, we just did a small minimum pickup. That's what that wood was in the trailer. And then today was pretty much like 1100. Tomorrow we're meeting with an estate manager we do a ton of work for. And it sounds like we're gonna be there for like 4 or 5 hours doing like labor and then also hauling away some stuff. So that'll just probably be like a $700 to $900 day for half of a day's work. And we have that big clean out scheduled in the middle of February. So even just today, tomorrow, and that clean out alone is already gonna put us at like probably 80% of work for the month. So we're just trying to keep things going, but not over stress. We're trying to find better ways of getting rid of everything, like the donation. We've been trying to really find good time to drop off instead of just pushing it off. And like we're trying to load the truck a certain way so we don't have to be like, oh, let me stop home and go sort through the whole truck so we can maximize donation. Like I still want it to make sense time-wise, and we are limited because we don't have a warehouse. So we're trying to find more sources for donating and people who like specific things. Like we have somebody now who takes wheelchairs and walkers. Like the donation base we go to, they take those, but I would rather them go to a location that is specific for seniors in need. So we just found a connection for that. We know somebody else who will take more like decor style items because they use them for their business, like Christmas lights and stuff. Even if it's not Christmas, they'll still use like white lights and blue lights and like single color lights for different events that they're doing. So instead of just giving them a goodwill and they're probably gonna throw it away because it's only January or February, she'll use those for her events. So we're just trying to find people like that where we always have a source, and that'll of course help us save on our disposal fee, and it'll also help with keeping things out of the landfill. So that's it. Just wanted to push that idea out there. If you guys are curious, maybe just give it a shot. I think everybody should be asking how people heard about you regardless, but try to do something with it. Don't just ask and have all this information, but utilize that information and build on it. If you get one job a month off of yard signs and you're putting out hundreds of them a month, you know, I would every quarter go back and add up how many jobs of like revenue wise you're pulling from that and see if it's worth the time and the cost of the yard signs. And if it's not, maybe find an alternative. If it is, then, you know, build on it, find better places to put them out. So just my 2 cents on the subject, but that's gonna be it for today, and we'll see you guys next time.